Well, good afternoon. I'm Missoula Mayor John Engen. It is the 9th of April, and this is our daily report to the community as we manage our way through the COVID-19 pandemic. With me today, as always, is Commissioner Josh Slotnick from Missoula County, and joining us as well is City Council President Brian von Lossberg, who's been integral to our efforts in leading our way through this crisis. Also joining us, and the star of our show today, is Grant Keir. Grant is the Executive Director of the Missoula Economic Partnership, and we want to take this opportunity today to brief you on what's happening with regard to our efforts at supporting small business and employees and bolstering our economy, not only for today, but for the future. And with that, Mr. Keir.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate being here today. I'm really pleased to report that unprecedented efforts are underway right now to understand and respond to the impacts that Missoula County residents are experiencing during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Missoula County Economic Recovery Task Force is a partnership of 17 different public and private for and nonprofit entities. The list of that task force and our membership can be found at the MissoulaPartnership.com and also at the city and county website, covid19.missoula.co. Members of that task force are working together right now to ensure that Missoula County residents recover from this incident and prosper in the future in 4 ways: trying to understand how our community members are being affected economically, improving access to the resources that are coming out of Congress, the state, and other support entities, and expanding awareness of the resources that are still under development for folks that are coming down the pike. And of course, we're doing our best to continue to identify where there are still gaps in resources so that if people are not getting the help they need, we figure out how to try to get that help to them. The task force has developed a pretty simple framework, a 4-step process that every small business can follow to understand how to navigate COVID. The steps are designed to give businesses a simple and clear guidance to ensure that the health and safety of their employees and to improve their access to available resources. The 4-step approach is outlined at the City County Joint Information Center at MissoulaPartnership.com and on the websites of each of the task force member organizations. The task force has enlisted the help of the University of Montana, and they've quickly established something called the Business Emergency Assistance and Recovery Program, or BEAR program. The BEAR program is organizing navigators right now that can help advise small businesses that don't already have established professional support that can help them navigate this process and the benefits and resources and relief coming out of the CARES Act. A link to register for the assistance through the BEAR program can be found at the City County Joint Information Center, MissoulaPartnership.com, and at acceleratemontana.umt.edu. Finally, we're working to survey businesses so that it's really clear that we can get feedback right away on what's working and what's not working coming out of the CARES Act and other programs. So we needed feedback right away, and we're thrilled to have the support and leadership of the Missoula Chamber of Commerce that is creating and maintaining a survey that's open to all businesses, not just their members, to help us keep track of what still needs to be done to be helpful to our local businesses and the employees who have lost their jobs during the COVID crisis. I think what I just reflect on really quickly is that we're really proud to be a part of this community. From everything we've heard from colleagues across the state and across the nation, we really are seeing an incredible degree of collaboration here in Missoula, and it's really paying off in how quickly we're able to respond to this and get people the resources that they need so much to get through this process.
Hey, thanks, Grant. This is Brian. If I could jump in with a question. First off, really appreciate all the work that you folks at MEP have done on this and UM, and I was hoping you could expand on the BEAR program a little bit. When I saw that, I went to the Accelerate UM website, pulled up the link that is mentioned, and looks like a really simple application, but I was hoping you could just step through that a little bit and mention how quickly people could expect to get a response when they go through that.
That's right. So the site's actually been up for a few hours now. I think we already have 2 businesses that have filled out the form, and our hope is that within 24 hours they'll get a response, And what will happen between the time they submit the form and the response is that the team at will work together with other partners on the task force and identify, based on that business's needs and circumstances, who's best suited to help them navigate this. What we're seeing out of the CARES Act, and because this is an unprecedented amount of relief and it's being delivered so quickly, it's natural, and I think it's most efficient that a lot of the relief has gone to people who already have existing relationships with banks and the SBA. What this program is really designed to do, and what's really important about it, is that it offers people who don't have those existing relationships sort of a hand to figure out how to navigate this process and make sure that every dollar or minute you spend with a legal advice or an accountant or potentially with a bank is as efficient and simple as possible, so that businesses have the confidence they're going to get what they need. And we're really trying to minimize the impact and the lag that people might experience in accessing these resources.
Thanks.
That's great. Thanks. So Grant, I also want to thank you for taking this on and showing such leadership, coordinating 17 different groups, for-profits, nonprofits. It's absolutely the type of cooperation that is necessary to move us at all. So I just had some questions as well about BEAR. It sounds to me a little bit like this is matching businesses who need some guidance in terms of accountants and legal advice and that sort of thing with people who could provide that expertise. Is that basically, in a nutshell, what's happening?
Yeah, that's right. So let me just first say we're honored to be playing a lead role in the task force, but every single member of this task force is instrumental, and the readiness and willingness and the cooperation that we have of everybody on the task force is really, it's inspiring every time we go to get anything done. So, we've really tried to, being Missoula, Montana, we've tried to come up with a simple system that everybody can keep track of. And so we've really got a 4-step program, which is our team approach, and then the BEAR program. So we're hoping folks can remember Team BEAR as they try to get their business through this process. And that the 4 steps that a business can follow are the T, to take steps to protect the health and safety of their workforce, E, to evaluate what contracts they have in place and really assess whether or not those contracts make sense in the face of COVID, and reach out to the people with whom they have those contracts to start talking about what they can do to accommodate each other's needs. The A is for assessing your cash flow and making sure you really understand what your needs are and you make an honest assessment of what the impacts of COVID are. Once you've done those things, you're really ready for M, which is to make contact with a lender or the SBA directly to make sure that you get the relief you need to take care of the issues that are impacting you right now as a business. So once you're into that team process, the BEAR program is a really great way to make sure that each of those steps is maximized, and that if you don't have the help you need to answer some of those questions or really get those systems in place, you have a team of people who are custom fit to your needs to help you get through this and get access to that relief as fast as possible.
So, Grant, as you read the headlines, as you hear all the news, much of this seems abstract. The CARES Act, big, complicated, but the fact of the matter is that this is not abstract. We have money on the ground in Missoula today, supporting businesses and their employees, right?
Yeah, I'm really inspired at how quickly everybody's risen to this occasion. So we had banks putting cash into business owners' hands on Sunday afternoon based on SBA loan approval. By the close of business on Monday, Missoula banks alone had submitted over 1,100 applications on behalf of our community businesses, totaling almost $200 million. So not only is this happening and real and really delivering relief, but it's happening at a scale that I think warrants a lot of praise and accolades for the folks in our banking community who are on the front line right now trying to deliver this relief.
Completely new definition of banker's hours.
Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah.
Right.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all very much. We will be chatting with some folks in the press this afternoon, but again, the resources will be available at the end of this video. Please do not hesitate to reach out, follow those links and pay attention to that information and get the help you need. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.